Hey, you guys, good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome to episode 13. Can you believe it's freaking episode 13 of the
Wow.
First and 10 NFL New York Jets podcast? We'd like to welcome our first guest of the show today, Mr. Craig.
What's up, guys?
Welcome. How are you? Nice to have you here.
Well. If I was going to say, if you can call it first and 13 if you're assuming an offensive line penalty, because somebody jumped the gun or something.
Yeah.
False start.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We're used to starting off everywhere with full starts, so it might as well be called first and 13 with the Jets.
What the hell? So how you guys doing this morning? All right? Everything's good?
Everything's
All right.
good.
Absolutely.
Let's give our guest his little prop. Craig is in a band called Fires in the Distance. That's their CD, debut CD. So
Cool. And we're hoping to get a show together.
Yep. Kevin's
Yep.
here as well.
Yep, the two of us together. Hopefully we'll get something together at Dingbats this winter.
Yep. And
We
as
would
we
love
say,
that. Yeah, man. It's nice. Things are opening up again, and it's also nice talking to other metalheads that know a thing or two.
Oh, sure, man.
mm,
Hey, we played a couple weeks ago at Dingbats. Mr. Greg was there.
excellent show.
No masks, no nothing. The whole bit. Everybody had a great time. It was nice to see people again. It really was.
Well, everybody in our band's got their 5G implant, so it's nice being my own personal hotspot. And it's also nice going to shows again. So yeah, man, it's all good.
Absolutely. So what do we got this morning, brother?
So I got a few things. We're gonna jump right in to start off with our Jets.
Yeah, let's go.
Couple of signings this week. Ex-Jet Mike Pinnell signed with the Bears.
Right?
Okay, and Darren Lee jumping from team to team. He signed with the Raiders this weekend.
No kidding.
Yeah. So Kev, something that we touched up on last weekend, which became official. Crowder did take the pay cut like
Yes, he did.
wanted him to.
Yes, he did. And that brought warmth to my heart.
I agree. I think Crowder also realized the market was drying up. He wasn't going to get the $5 million that we thought the Jets were going to offer, so he jumped at it. And I think it's a great move.
And the best part is he doesn't wind up on the Pats.
Yeah.
You think Le'Veon Bell might have something to do with that? Maybe he saw the tea leaves in terms of other guys that are trying to jump ship and just get paid more.
Let's talk about Le'Veon. Can you believe the crap? Can you believe the crap he's been saying? I
I
mean,
can't believe the Jets ruined his career.
You're probably right.
now he says Andy Reid ruined his career.
Yeah.
So
The one mistake the Jets made, and I'll never forgive Peyton Manning. Why would you hire Gase? Now, being a Patriot fan, you played the Dolphins like we do. You played them with Gase there. What was your take as an outsider looking and saying the Jets are hiring Gase?
I know what his take was.
I mean, there's that, but I was also thinking you guys had Mike McCarthy available at the time.
And that's who I wanted.
That's who I wanted.
Yep.
That's who I
granted,
wanted.
he's had his flaws. He could only win one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. But if you're looking for somebody to turn an organization around and just have good leadership, I mean, yeah, why are you replacing a Dookie with a turd sandwich?
Yeah.
Right. Just go get Mike McCarthy. I think he
That's
would have
all.
at least done a good job and gotten some leadership to the guys to build around. Because I think even the players were done with Gase.
Yeah.
Or do whatever it takes to get Cowher here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That was my first choice. Break the bank, give him complete control, and get Cowher here.
And on the Cowher thing, I really thought with his wife being his newly married wife being a Jets fan, I thought that was really going to motivate him. But yeah, I guess, age coming in, he's got a good gig here at CBS. Why worry about all the other stuff where you don't have to? You're working a few days a week. You're getting paid well. So I guess.
I mean, I had dreams of him grabbing somebody's face mask and spitting as he was screaming at him. So
agree 100%.
Didn't work out though. So maybe
especially during a COVID season, right?
That was
So
good.
you brought up Green Bay. We brought up Mike McCarthy. Is Aaron Rodgers a diva to you guys?
Well, I mean, he hosted Jeopardy. I think he has to be, right?
Close, yeah. Yeah, the answer is yes.
Yeah, to me, and I'm going to give you reasons why I think he's a diva. He wants, like Tom Brady kind of did, left to go to the Buccaneers, wanted this guy. Brady has proven he's allowed to do that. The man has won, 5 out of 7 Super Bowls? Aaron, you won 1. Trent Dilfer won 1. Easy with what you think you're allowed to do. Like, when did the league become so that the players could tell?
Yeah, but I throw Hail Marys.
Yeah, I get it. But again, in the big picture, you won 1 Super Bowl. Does 1 Super Bowl give you the right to say who you want and how you want it done and who to draft and who not to draft?
Not
No,
my
I'm
opinion.
going to give a hot take on Brady, because when you have a winning team that goes that long, the salary cap fucked him over. He doesn't have a whole lot of playing years left. And I think on the Patriots side of things, people love to say, oh, it was this big falling out between him and Bill. I think it was just a mutual, hey, we got to part ways at some point. This might be the time to do it. I really don't think
this is the right time. Yeah.
Okay.
So for him to jump into the Buccaneers, what he had there was an amazing supporting cast and some clutch free agency signings. The Packers already have a good supporting cast. So I don't understand why you'd want to jump ship there, all because Jordan Love got drafted. He's being a diva, because I could see why Brady wanted out. Look at the Patriots receivers last year and their tight end crew, right? They didn't have any weapons. So Brady left for a team that had weapons.
He goes down there and Gronk follows him, and he's got,
No, but that's even more credit. And I hate to say this because it's burning me up. That's even more credit to the man that he won with receivers that weren't household names. So by going to Tampa Bay, yes, he got his payday, but because he won with receivers that weren't household names, why wouldn't you give this man to say, let's go after him? Let's go after him. Where Aaron hasn't won all these Super Bowls, hasn't been in as many Super Bowls, what gives him the right to say,
you don't have that power, that gravitas that a Brady has, right?
How are you drafting my backup, Aaron? They did the same thing to Brett. They did the same thing to Brett when they drafted you. That's what football is. That's what football is. Why are you getting your panties in a bunch?
Well, and you lose respect from your players too. Like, I remember seeing an interview. I think it was Fred Jackson. He was the Falcons running back that filled in after LeGarrette Blount got injured. The year that the Pats lost to the Broncos in the AFC Championship. And he was saying, because people were asking him, is it Brady or is it Belichick who leads it? He goes, you show up and this guy, Tom Brady, a living legend, is like, hey man, my name's Tom. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the team. He's leading you through the trenches. So if Aaron is out here pulling the diva, he's his players know that he doesn't have their back.
We found out last season whether it was Brady or Belichick. It was Brady.
Yeah.
It was Brady.
And
what else?
Let's keep this train moving. Jamal Adams, Kevin, what's your take? He is such a me guy.
Shut up! That's my take.
Really? Are you surprised?
Shut up!
Are you surprised that he's crying and complaining again?
No. Shut up. Shut up and play.
Yeah, I don't get it. It sounds like I don't know if Seattle's just trying to diffuse.
Wait! How many millions you making? Shut up and play.
Yeah. Well, whatever happened to why the NFL did something smart, I guess it was how many years ago, where they developed this 5-year rookie pay scale. But what good is it if after 3 years, guys want out? What good is it if after the 4th year, you already have to decide on the 5th year before you even see the player play the 5th year? I don't get what the point was then in this 5-year rookie pay scale if no one ever sticks to it and the players.
Well, and I mean, what good are contracts if you don't live up to them? And in 2 years you want out, and you start pulling crap like Adams did,
That's what I'm saying. So
running his mouth, being disgruntled, screwing up the locker room chemistry, because you want to get out of here.
yes, that's what I'm saying. But what is the point then in that 5-year contract? You signed that contract; it should be honored.
I agree. I
don't
agree.
know. Like I said, maybe I'm just pissed because, and I'm kind of glad Seattle's feeling what we felt. Let him cry all he wants there. I know Seattle came out Friday or Saturday this morning and said they're going to get the job done. They're going to get it done, but maybe they're just trying to keep him quiet because they don't want to go through what we went through with him, ripping everyone in the organization.
And how did you feel about him tackling your mascot at the Pro Bowl?
No, he tackled. What's the Patriot mascot? What's his name?
Remember you weren't.
It's the Pro Bowl, I'm with you. I think he's.
I just thought I'd ask.
I mean, it's the mascot. You know what I mean? Makes good optics, good YouTube clips. They're entertainers. And that's the thing with all these guys is, they're athletes, but they're also entertainers. But,
of course. Of course.
With the NFL, nothing's guaranteed, right? It's
true.
To kind of go over the Pats-Jets rivalry. Everyone's so quick to shit on the Jets, but even when they had rough years, some of the most intense games the Pats had on the schedule.
That's right.
The Jets.
You're damn right, man. You're damn right. You always knew they were going to go. It was going to come down to the wire. I mean, except for when we had nobody and you guys were blowing us out and shit, and there was no life on our team whatsoever. But I mean, the Rex years and stuff, we went at it, man.
The Fitzpatrick year, where we called the wrong coin toss in overtime, and
yes.
So where I'm going with that is for guys like Aaron Rodgers, Jamal Adams, Le'Veon Bell. Nothing's a given. All it takes is one injury, and you have no leverage and no negotiating power when it comes to your contract. And
that's right.
Like you're saying, it's a legal agreement. And if you try and fuck with your contract, guaranteed the organizations are going to remember that if you need a leg up, literally or figuratively.
Yeah.
Nobody wants troublemakers.
No, and honestly, when Alex Smith got hurt, I think the Redskins, the Washington football team, I think that's part of the reason they re-signed him is, he wasn't locker room cancer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at your guys' schedule, and there's 3 games that really jump out to me that I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, the 2 against us, September 19th, October 24th. But the one I'm really looking forward to with you guys is October 3rd, when Mr. Brady and Tampa come back up to see you guys. I'm a Jet fan, and I'm looking forward to that, man.
And, I don't like to make predictions because, again, week by week nature, nobody knows what's going to happen, right? Brady could get hurt. Cam Newton could be on fire this year. There's no way of saying that. But, I mean, you're hosting the defending Super Bowl champions. And honestly, again, it's a great opportunity to see that. But, Garoppolo came into Foxborough and smoked the Pats last year. I think it's quite possible Brady will do the same because he plays well when he's angry.
And he's going to be angry that day, man.
Yep, he's going to have a fire stick right up his ass, and I'm sure he's going to be throwing dimes.
He's going to go into that game thinking 55-3.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, 55-3. But I did see that your offensive tackle is supporting Cam. He kind of threw shade at Jones a little bit, calling him a kid, and I mean that's the way I took it. And to mention his name, Trent Brown.
Yep.
But I mean, he seems all in on Cam, so we'll see.
Are you all in on Cam?
I think it was a good certainty that happened, right? Everybody knew Brady was going to leave at some point. And I think last year, my take on it was Cam was the offense, man. Everybody beats up on him and calls him Scam Newton. And he's got trouble. He's got accuracy issues, but he was making all the plays last year.
He's the guy that's always running around, He's the guy that's getting those rushing touchdowns.
I mean, listen, his pocket presence isn't the best. I think Brady was way better at avoiding sacks and getting rid of the football. But I mean, until Jacoby Myers stepped up last year, nobody was really helping him out. So they obviously have a better supporting cast going into this year with the free agency spending. But I think Mac Jones is the future. But I personally like the situation right now, not because I think Cam Newton's going to be an MVP, but because look at all these young quarterbacks getting thrown into the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a recipe for success to start your newly drafted quarterback.
I agree.
I think doing what the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes, or I think honestly for this year, maybe using Mac Jones as a little bit of a gadget player like the Saints did with Taysom Hill or the Ravens did with Flacco and Lamar Miller. You know, have some sort of formation with two quarterbacks on the field, give them a little bit of playing time experience that way, but build them up. I mean, I was looking at the Jets roster this morning, and I know everybody's all in on Zach Wilson, but dude, who's going to help him out? I'm like, who are the other two quarterbacks on the roster?
And us two Jet fans, we've seen this movie before. Everybody was high on Sam Darnold. Everybody was high on Mark Sanchez. We've seen this before. You don't know. It's a freaking crapshoot.
The thing is, and here you brought up the point about starting the rookie quarterback. Why would you? Because of this rookie contract now that's been set up, where after 3 years you could lose these players. Teams want to start these guys young and see if they're the right mix for their team for the future for dirt cheap. For those first 3 years, you get a starting quarterback for peanuts. So you're throwing them to the wolves quicker than when we were growing up, where if you drafted, let's say for the sake of this conversation, Aaron Rodgers, you could sit him for a few years because he wasn't going anywhere. With this new 5-year deal, you could lose these guys in 3 years, and teams don't have the luxury to wait around for 3 years to see if this kid is the real deal at quarterback. So you throw them to the wolves now. So I don't know if this new 5-year deal is a good thing or a bad thing, you know?
But I mean, I look at the QBs, the successful ones, Mahomes, Steve Young, Aaron Rodgers. Okay. They all sat behind Tom Brady.
Yeah.
They all with Drew Bledsoe, right? They all sat behind somebody. You know, and by the way, you're welcome, and you can send Mo Lewis a thank you card. Okay.
We'll run it by Drew first and see how he feels about it.
Okay. All right. I wonder if his chest is still bleeding.
I know, right? But you know what, Greg, I gotta respectfully disagree with you, man, because you don't need to throw them to the wolves the first game of the season. Even if they did like what the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson, if you've got a decent quarterback and a good supporting staff that can get you through and establish a decent winning record, and you really want to get the rookies in, let them finish the season. But I think that when they're being thrown to the wolves like this, they got to not only have the physical strength or, you know, the stamina so you don't pull a Joe Burrow and get injured in your first season, but you got to have the mental stamina. I mean, look at Johnny Manziel and when he train wrecked, right?
Yeah.
He obviously wasn't in the right mental state to handle failure because he wasn't used to it.
But he was also, his situation was, he was also known as the party boy in college. From like, that was his reputation. The pros are a whole different, like you can't take that college lifestyle and bring it into the pros, not the first few years. You really have to be dedicated to that playbook, to that team where almost everything else around you has to cease to exist. And this is why Trevor Lawrence, a month before the draft, was getting knocked because he got married. You know, people are like, oh, he needs to be in the playbook. He needs to be doing this. I agree with everything you're saying, but it's a fine line on what the teams today are trying to do than what they try to do 10, 15 years ago. The NFL is just now all about the dollars. What can you do for us now? It's win now. Everything is win now. And a lot of the teams like the Jets who don't come from a winning organization can't afford to sit on Zach for 3 years. And you got to throw them to the wolves. It's just the way it is, you know?
I mean,
with Trevor Lawrence getting married, though, you know, if at least he's, you know, snorting coke off his own wife's ass instead of some strange hookers in Vegas.
True. This is true. This is true.
Oh man, that was good.
So, so do you want to go through this Patriots schedule? The Patriots schedule?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You got the schedule in front of you, Craig?
I can pull it up. You know, I looked at it a couple days ago, but I can kind of give you my overall impression.
All right. So what do you have your Pats finishing this year?
There's an extra game this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 17. Yep.
I'm gonna say 10-7.
Wow.
Okay.
No, 10-7
I'll buy that.
Their schedule is a lot easier than last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Much easier.
Yeah. No, I buy that. I
It's
can see
10
10-7 for you guys.
It's
I can even
7.
I can even
Gotcha.
see 11-6 for you guys.
I
Okay.
could too, and just when I look at this, I'll kind of do the line by line here. Patriots and Jets to start the season. Or no, I'm sorry, Dolphins and Patriots. That's a toss-up because the Dolphins, I think Tua is still a little bit untested, and they lost Fitzmagic. I mean, Fitzmagic is a really kind of been a thorn in the Patriots side.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
And with the Patriots kind of out for blood this year, I think that game's going to be a toss-up.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I think the Patriots are gonna take the Jets on the 19th. The Saints are a big question mark this year. Jameis Winston, I don't think is going to fill into Drew Brees' spot very well.
Okay. So you got them
Buccaneers.
3-0 right off the bat.
I think the Dolphins and the Pats is a coin toss.
Okay.
I wouldn't be so quick to.
Is that up there or is that in Miami?
If I believe it's in, I think it's in Foxborough.
It's a home game.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you got that.
But we always heard, at least from the New York media or even ESPN, the time to beat the Patriots is in September because
it's early in the season.
Yeah, everyone always said that Belichick's way of doing things was September was like a preseason for them. They used September as their preseason.
Well, Steve Young, I remember hearing Steve Young. He always said the first 4 games are an extension of preseason.
Okay.
If you can go 2-2, you're lucky. If you can go 3-1, God bless you. If you can go 4-0, oh my God.
But isn't that Belichick's way of thinking too, Craig? Like he always used September as an additional preseason games. And if you're going to beat the Patriots, that was the month to do it in.
It's hard to tell, but I think he's out for blood at this point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be so quick to write him off, and I think he knows he's got to win, otherwise he's going to be in the hot seat, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he has it. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you guys have another what's considered a bad season, 9-8, not 10-7, his everything is on, like his reputation is on the line, because right now you're already hearing the whispers. It was Brady. Why?
It was Brady. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Brady. Why? All right. So we have them at 4-1, 2, 3, 4-0. No, 3-1. Right? You have them losing to Tampa Bay, correct?
I do. I think the Texans are a toss-up after that, to be honest with you.
Really?
I really do.
Even if there's no Deshaun Watson.
I think there's going to be a Deshaun Watson. I think with his troubles, this is going to just boil over probably for another year. We'll hear about it every week, and then eventually it'll come to some out of court settlement.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you're probably right. Yeah.
Patriots and Cowboys. Everyone likes to hit on the Cowboys. I think that's another toss-up. If Dak Prescott is playing quarterback, and if Zeke is still going well, I think that's another coin toss. I think possibly they could lose.
Wow. Okay. So if we're looking at, let's say, 4-2, 4-3 around this time, is the whispers getting stronger in New England to start the kid?
I don't know. Let me do this first. I'm going to tell you the games that I think they're going to lose. Buccaneers, right?
Okay.
I think they'll lose probably. I think it's a coin toss with the Texans. I think the Browns are going to smack them, man. I think the Browns looked hot last year, and I think they know it.
I think the Browns are right behind the Chiefs, actually.
Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
The question is, with the Browns not having this wave of being so good, can they handle it? Think about the years where the Jets had this potential, like the second year under Testaverde. And I know that was an incident where he got hurt, but some teams that are not used to winning can't handle prosperity. That's what worries me with Cleveland.
Well, they start reading their press clippings
Exactly.
and how good they are, and
Exactly. But anyway, I agree. Cleveland probably second best team in the AFC. Finish what you were saying, Craig. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay. I mean, I just think my take on them is they're still hungry. They're still young. They had a lot of challenges. I don't think they're going to lose that lesson too easily, but I think the Titans and the Bills are going to smack the Pats. I really do. So I think at best the Patriots are looking at a wild card appearance, but I just think the Bills are the top dog in the AFC East right now. They look really good.
Okay, I can't argue.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, you're going to win the division, or is it going to be the Bills?
No, it's the Bills. I mean, Josh Allen is hot. Sean McDermott knows how to coach. He obviously has his players' respect.
Yeah.
And Stephon Diggs and Emmanuel Sanders, dude, that's a nightmare. That is a nightmare.
Yeah, look out. Look out.
And it's funny how, I don't know if you listened to our podcast or earlier episodes. We were saying that when Buffalo signed Emmanuel Sanders as their fifth wide receiver, and here we were in Jet Nation at the time talking over how Jet fans and the Jets themselves wanted Crowder out the door. And Kevin and I couldn't figure out, why would you want another weapon out the door? When teams are lining up 5 wide now, why do you want another weapon out the door? And we couldn't figure it out. So I was glad you brought up Emmanuel Sanders.
Why would you dump Crowder so you could throw a kid in there that might run the wrong way?
But not so much even that. The more you give a team to think about the night before, keep them up all week thinking, how are we going to stop this one? It's better for your young quarterback. Don't get rid of the weapons. Add the weapons. Like, that's what the Crowder deal is done. So this is all moot. But
the more horses in the stable, the better. Absolutely.
Yeah, at the time, Craig, this was a big discussion. Like, we were like, are you kidding me? And Jet fans seem to be all okay with it. Yeah, well, he's going to go, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, anyway, go ahead. Keep going. So we have 4 losses. No, because I get on my Jet rants, and whether I'm right
and you just let him go till he finishes.
Yeah.
No. Listen, I'm gonna extend onto your point here. When you have a weapon like Crowder who's been productive, if he's getting attention, you're gonna find out who your number 2 and 3 guys are. You're gonna find that young stud that way.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yep.
If somebody else is getting the attention and Crowder's getting the attention, well, he's got to show that he can beat him if he's truly your number 1 wideout. But you're giving an opportunity for your other receivers to shine. And as a Pats fan, that's why I feel like I'm high on Jacoby Myers right now, because with Edelman hurt last year and with N'Keal Harry being an absolute bust, I think Jacoby Myers has been amazing, honestly.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
And you look at that Pat team now, their weapons everywhere. Like, they're stacked now. Like, our division is good. Top. I don't know. Like I said, I have the Jets only winning 5 games, and my belief is we're going to be in a lot more games than we've ever been. The 2022 season is going to be foretelling for these 4 teams, because we think it's a bloodbath now, and we enjoy the rivalry games. But next year, with what Miami has coming in the draft, what we could have coming in the draft, what Buffalo and New England are going to build on.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
If I was a Jets fan, though, I honestly would have loved to have seen them sign a Jameis Winston, Teddy Bridgewater, just somebody.
Thank you.
I think the hot rumor is, and it's a hot rumor, but it's very quiet, but I think it's gonna happen. Foles is gonna wind up here.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
And I'm not saying I want that, but there's 2. You know why? Because it was thrown out there, and why I call it a hot rumor is because it's just the opposite. It hasn't picked up legs. I always feel when a story picks up legs too quick, there's nothing to it. When it kind of simmers and sits there, something underneath the water is burling, and something's going to happen. And I feel like that's going to be our backup. I mean,
I'd be okay with that. I want somebody that knows what they're doing. that's been there before.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the guy's won a Super Bowl. So, I mean, even if he never plays, it's just so if this kid gets hurt, you don't put in, who's that guy? We were talking.
What, Captain Morgan?
No,
Oh,
that's
you're talking about Dave Fails from last year or whatever, right? Yeah, I know.
the guy that belonged to Walmart.
Yeah. Hot potato. I don't want the ball. You
Yeah, well, yeah. Here comes the defensive line. Here, just don't hit me anymore.
You know, Craig, the one thing you have to say is at least Kevin and I are realistic. Like we talk about our team, we tell the truth. I remember back in earlier episodes, and the reason why I'm bringing this is because I was ripped on another site for speaking the truth about my Jet team. Somebody called me a fake fan. I don't think I'm a fake fan. I think I'm a realistic.
No, that's right.
About what my team is or what they've been. I don't pull any punches about what my history of my team is. So
we know that.
Let me ask you this: if they had a perfect season and won a Super Bowl, would you be upset?
Would I be upset? No. Yeah. Why?
Do you want them to succeed?
Always.
That's always.
So there you go, man. I think that one thing, I'll say this, and I'll draw a parallel here in heavy metal and in football. I think both are victim to all or nothing thinking, right? Oh, you're saying the Jets are only going to win 5 games, so you can't be a true fan. Or, you like Emperor, so you're not into real black metal. You're a fucking poser,
right. Yeah, right. Yep.
It's all or nothing,
Yep.
And I just think that way of thinking is very exaggerated by the internet, by social media. And I think people need to understand, like I was saying before, we're just a bunch of dudes sitting down on our couch, eating potato chips, drinking beer.
Yeah.
We're not playing these games. We are not helping them win. It's entertainment. Chill the fuck out.
I mean, I started going to, I was a season ticket holder for years. I started at Shea. I can remember watching your Pats and Steve Grogan. I mean, I remember that. I remember the guy in the 3-point stance on the helmet.
Yeah, classic helmet, classic.
Yeah, I mean, so don't tell me what I am as a Jet fan, like these people on the sites tell you, Greg, because bullshit. Yeah. I've seen so much crap from this fucking team, whether it was the late hit on Kozar in Cleveland, like we've always said, whether it was Vinny's ruptured Achilles in 1999. I mean, come on. Whether it's drafting Ken O'Brien over Dan Marino.
Yeah. Or Kyle Brady over Warren Sapp.
Come on, man.
How
many were we sitting there that draft? Everybody's going Sapp. And what do they say? With the blow up pick in the draft, the Jets pick Kyle Brady. What? What?
I just learned to be a realistic Jet fan, and if people don't like it, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and to wax poetic over a team that hasn't proven it.
Blair Thomas over Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, I'm sure the list goes on. If we're sitting here, if the three of us could sit here 5 years from now and we're as successful as the Patriots and we're building to something like the Patriots did, the Steelers did, the Ravens did, then and I'm still saying, oh, I don't believe it, then you could call me a phony fan. I just believe what I believe, and I'm going to stick to they're going to be a 5-win team, maybe 6. But like I said, if we're in every game, I know that the pages turn, we're flipping the script, and we're moving on to better things. I don't want to be good for 1 year. I lived through too many 1 or 2 good years and 8 years of bad years. I want it the other way around now, but I can't sit here with rose-colored glasses, like I was telling Kevin earlier, and seeing all the Jets at the Islander game and celebrating. I feel sometimes like the New York media sets this team up for failure, because if this team comes out 0-4, the media is going to be same old Jets. Too busy partying at Islander games. I don't want to hear anything.
Like I said to you, this could be the best town to win in, but if you lose, it's the worst, man. Yeah. Forget it. They'll eat you up.
I guess my point being is that I don't want to hear how great practice is, to quote Allen Iverson. Show me on the field. I'm still a Jet fan. I'm a realistic Jet fan, but now it's time to show me. I've been here far too long. And I've read all the pressings. I believed all the, the Sanchez years, we were franchise quarterback. There's no looking back. Sam Darnold, franchise quarterback. I'm tired of it. I'm sticking to my guns. I'm a diehard, but my belief is a 5-win season. But yes, I do believe we'll be competitive. And there's my little small rant.
And Craig, I found a document that I wanted to show you. It says, I resign as HC of the NYJ.
Let me ask you guys something, because this is one thing that kind of came to mind as you were saying this, Greg. How much of this is the ownership, though? Because I think the one thing that fucks the Jets is a meddling owner. And if you look at some of the best teams, I feel like owners that delegate, let the coaches do their job. I mean, look at the Cowboys, I think Jerry Jones, right? Excuse me. I'm not the best with names, but I mean, him going on a radio show every week touting his ego,
he's a meddler.
The reason that team is in straits right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like
he's a meddler.
Jets, you can't blame the coaches and the players all the time, because the owners, I think, hey, that's why Belichick left, right?
That's why he left. Yeah, that's why Parcells left. That's why Belichick left. That's why Al Groh left. I mean, that's why they all leave, because of Woody Johnson.
Yeah. I think listening to Woody's press conference today, a couple of days ago, whether it was phony, whether it was sincere, he finally said what an owner is supposed to say. He finally, I feel like, waved the white flag and said I'm
going to shut up and stay out of it.
Yeah. He's going to let Joe D do it. He's going to let Saleh do it. And that's for the first time, the Jets are running it the way it's supposed to be. Coach reports to GM reports to ownership. End of story. Not coach reports to owner, GM reports to owner, assistant coach report. No, it's finally done in what's the word I'm looking for, where you have like levels, from top to bottom. It's finally being done right. And that's what we're hoping for. But again, until it happens, I can't sit here and say, watch out, Patriot fans, watch out, Dolphins fans, because like I said, we can't be good for 1 year and bad for 9, and every 4 years a new quarterback. No, I'm a Jet fan, but I have to see it now. I have to see that we're making strides like teams like the Patriots did, the Ravens do, the Steelers every year, and even Buffalo now. I have to see, this hierarchy, whatever you call it, come into fruition and take these steps. And and according to Johnson's press conference yesterday, that's what he's going to do. He's going to shut his mouth, and he's going to let the organization run the way it's supposed to be run.
It's about time.
Let's see.
Well, and that's one thing I think the Patriots are doing right. They've got Cam Newton, who, for all of his flaws, as much as people hate him, he brought a very positive vibe to the team last year. Tom Brady's yelling at his receivers on the sidelines, obviously pissed off. That's who he was. But, Cam kind of elevated everybody's spirits, and the team loved him. The first touchdown, he gives center David Andrews the ball to Spike. I mean, if you want to win respect for your team, you do stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
He's obviously not the same quarterback, but having Brian Hoyer there to mentor Mac Jones, to have Jarrett Stidham there to give a little bit of competition, I feel like they're building this up the right way, where they're not throwing him to the wolves. I think, again, gadget plays. Maybe he starts later in the season if things are going sour, but at the very least, there's a much tighter supporting cast now. And with Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, even if Cam is still the same runner like he was last year, and he's only throwing for 90, 100 yards a game, having the two big tight ends set, I think opens up a lot for the running backs too.
You know how many weeks I went on FanDuel last week taking Cam as a rushing touchdown.
So Craig,
every freaking week I took him to have a rushing touchdown, and sure enough,
yeah.
So, Craig, I don't know if you watch a lot of like the NFL Network or ESPN, if you stay in touch with that in the off season, but the NFL Network, they've been saying it for a while, and I want to know how your take and what the Patriot fan base take was. Do you feel if Cam never got COVID in the middle of the season, you would have made the playoffs?
I don't think so. And just to be honest with you, Nick, I'm not the type of guy that really gets too much into the off-season chatter because it comes irrelevant once week one comes around. Right?
Doesn't matter. Once they tee it up and kick it off, none of it matters.
They're just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. But
yep.
As an outsider, I thought, and this is why I'm asking you, and I'm glad you're on the show today. That's why I'm asking you, because I thought it was an interesting take, because their take was that if you look at, I don't know what their record was prior to COVID, but after COVID, he wasn't the same Cam Newton. That the virus took a lot out of him. It took him more weeks to get back to normal. And that's when they started losing those games, and his passing was bad and this was bad. So what was the fan base take on that? Does the fan base as a whole feel if he never got COVID, it could have been a different season?
I'm going to provide a little bit of anecdote. I'm 90% sure my wife and I had COVID last year in March. We were in the Bahamas when lockdown happened.
Okay.
And on our connecting flight from Charlotte to Hartford, nobody's wearing masks. Mm-hmm. Everybody's coming home from abroad, cramped in an airport together. Mm-hmm. This big guy on the plane just coughing, not covering his mouth. We're 2 seats behind him. 10 days later, fever, dry cough.
Oh, man.
Super bad lethargy, but we couldn't get a test. We're calling the hospital and they're like, yeah, you guys sound terrible, but there's we only have tests for immunocompromised people and people over 65. We got to ration them because this was still March. Mm-hmm. And I remember for probably a period of 2 to 4 weeks, brain fog, just bad brain fog. And I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm not a doctor or a scientist. Just anecdote, take it or leave it. But he wasn't making the best decisions. He didn't look as sharp in those first few weeks. So I think a little bit of brain fog might have gotten to him.
Yeah, sure.
And people say that this virus. Now, I was lucky, never had any symptoms, never, I kept my circle small. But they say this virus kicked your butt. Like once it left your body, it took a while to feel normal again. So maybe there is some storyline to the fact that if Cam stayed healthy, it might have been a whole different team, And you
I don't think his supporting cast was that good, though. I mean, let's be real.
No,
Asiasi, Dalton Keene, tight ends. No, come on, man. They weren't doing shit last year.
But you still went. What was your record in the end? 9-7.
7-9, I think. I think it's the other way around.
Sorry, 7-9.
It's all who you surround everybody with.
No, I know, but I get again, I'm just an outsider. I know diddly poo about the Patriots, but somewhere the Patriot organization must have felt the same way, that if Cam didn't get sick, there might have been 3 or 4 more wins. I don't know. I'm just saying, It's just something, again, we're just...
You're saying maybe that's why they re-signed him to begin with?
Yeah. Okay. I think that's why they're giving him one more shot.
Yeah. And again, just given the weapons they had last year, I'm sticking by my statement I made earlier where he was the offense. He was the one making plays. He was the one, I think, who really put in the most effort, honestly. Okay. So I think people knock Cam Newton because he's eclectic, because he's kind of a loudmouth, but he's himself. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's just being him. And I think that's cool. I don't think he's the quarterback of the future, but he's himself. So, and honestly, I respect him for it. This had to happen at some point in terms of Brady leaving.
Fine. I just, like I said, like you said, and we say it all the time on this show, it's the dead season and people just throw things on the wall to see what they would stick and where the story goes from there. I found it to be an interesting point, but again, I'm an outsider looking in. So it was great having you on today and hearing some of your takes about your Patriot club.
When Brady left, did you think it was over? Like, did you think, oh shit, we're never going to win again, or it's going to be a long time before we get back to where we were?
I mean, personally, again, we're talking all or nothing thinking. I don't try and think like that. It's going to be a hiccup. It's going to be a road bump, but in Bill we trust. He'll rebuild.
How pissed were you when he left?
Honestly, I wasn't that upset.
Okay. All right. I'm just asking, curious, because I know if it was me and we had what you guys had for however many years here, I'd be freaking pissed.
It's almost like if you have a coworker or something that leaves, you really like working with them, they leave and you see them succeeding somewhere else. Like, you're like, hey man, I'm happy for you. It's nothing personal. The dude brought a bunch of rings to New England. I can't be that pissed at him.
No, I get
Right,
it.
but I'd be pissed if my production dropped 50% after my coworker left.
Well,
And the company he went to was kicking our ass.
yeah, right. Well, you got to rebuild,
Yeah.
He was obviously a key player and a key figure, but listen, man, he's in his 40s. If he wants to play somewhere else and, live in Florida where there's no income tax,
Exactly. I don't blame him. Yeah, right. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Get that. It's too cold in New England.
So,
But
just a little, enlighten me on why, because I know why, but I don't know why. What is Brady's hate for the Jet organization? It's a total, like, even to today, he knocks that club. What they gave him his star. He should thank them for everything they did. But it's the one team he looks to knock no matter what. Why is that? Why is there such hate for this one organization?
I don't know. Maybe he's afraid of airplanes. Triggers him. Supposedly they skipped on him in the draft. I don't know, man. He's a weird dude. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the one. Like, I remember after you guys won the Super Bowl, he was on whatever, that CBS late show, and he knocked the Jets. And I'm thinking, what's the hate, dude? They gave you the chance to become who you are.
You know when I think he really started hating on the Jets?
Rex
During
Ryan.
Rex.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All the smack Rex talked all the time.
I'll take that.
I'm not here to kiss his rings. Blah 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 blah. Tom Brady. Yeah. Well, we're gonna bring the sauce and look out and come on.
The wrong move. If you want to win against Brady, make him the overachiever.
Yeah.
No, when he's got a reason to be angry,
Agreed.
you're fucking yourself.
Agreed.
That's why I think the Pats are going to get smoked when Tampa Bay comes to Foxborough, because he's going to be pissed off.
Of course he is. Yeah, absolutely. And who knows what locker room fodder will come out of Foxborough. We're gonna.
Yeah.
So or Tampa. So
Yeah.
So, Craig, real quick, my last Patriot question for you for today is Stephon Gilmore, contract or no contract?
I
Retired?
said let him walk.
Yeah,
He was
okay.
injured last year. I don't think he's going to be getting any healthier.
Okay.
The dude was clutch when we signed him. I think he was good competition to Malcolm Butler. But at this point in time, let J.C. Jackson carry the team.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Interesting.
He had his struggles, but you've also got Jalen Mills too. So I'd rather have two good, solid corners than one lockdown that's just going to shift attention to the other side of the field.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, this
And my last Pat question is:
okay, go on. I'm sorry.
I saw an interesting story this morning. Did you read that Vince Wilfork's son took $300,000 worth of his jewelry, including his Super Bowl rings?
I mean, if he could have taken his fridge, maybe he would have gotten $300,000 worth of food. But yeah, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, I saw that this morning. I was like, what?
Yeah. Wow.
Stealing your dad's Super Bowl rings? I mean, I don't know what it was for, but.
And Vince seems like the nicest guy too. Apparently, after a playoff.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he
car
is.
accident, it's just, I'd want to know why the kid did that.
I'm not even going to speculate because I don't want people saying I'm saying things for certain reasons. I'm not even going to speculate.
Oh, I'll speculate. Yeah, he was probably fed with a silver spoon that's like this big. If he's got any of Vince Wilfork's genetics, man, that kid was probably chomping through like whole turkeys for dinner, bones and all.
Oh man, you're killing me. I love it.
All right, Craig, this was a pleasure having you on. I mean,
absolutely, man.
We'd love to have you on during the season, maybe, right?
Well, you got. Listen, you got to come on before September 19th. You have to.
Well, listen, I'm not recording a new Fires record until December, so a little bit of pre-production. But yeah, you guys want to talk smack, talk football, talk whatever? Just give me a ring. I'll jump on again for sure.
Well,
right, cool, good. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was awesome.
The week of that game, we're gonna do this again.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. offline, I'll put this in my calendar now so I don't forget. But yeah, that'd be great, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be cool.
We haven't discussed what our schedule become football season. We talked about actually maybe doing the show on game day, like 10 a.m. So we haven't, but we'll touch base with you, and you're friends of ours now. So anytime you want to reach out or you have something to say, yeah, let us know. We'll have you on. This is awesome. And spread the word. You know, other fans, doesn't matter what team they want to come on, spread the word for us, brother. And we're going to do the same for your band like we do for Hostile Rage. And we'll spread the word and we'll keep everything going, you know?
Hell yeah.
Definitely
Hell
will.
yeah.
If Zach
Hell
Wilson
yeah.
gets hurt, I'm coming on for 5 minutes and talking shit, though.
All right. That's all right. But listen, expect the same if we whoop your asses this year.
Oh man, look out! If the 19th of September turns out the way we hope it does,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, hey,
we'll see we'll see who talks smack.
Yeah, in the spirit of what we said before, man, we're just guys talking,
Exactly.
talking football.
Absolutely,
We're not
absolutely, man.
participating. Our lives are going to be no different, no more
agree.
rich, no more worse off, depending on what
Agree.
happens. It's
Agree.
entertainment.
Exactly. Give me a beer. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So for any people who are listening that are bound to get butthurt, just remember, it's okay. It's just a game.
Exactly.
All right, everybody.
That was awesome.
Greg, everybody, have a great Saturday. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
You got it.
Anytime.
Get up. See you later.
All right.